All right, finally we're going to go through all of the progressions from page 13 and 14. The ones from page 13, I'm just going to use the A instead of A7. In the key of D, a lot of times those two are interchangeable. Other keys, they're not so much. So you can always substitute A for A7. It might not sound quite as good, but it's never going to sound bad. The same is not always true for A7 substituting for A. So if you see A, you should play A until you learn a little bit more about theory to know when it's okay to substitute the A7. If you see A7, try to play it. It's actually an easier chord to play anyway, but you also know that you can always substitute A. And that goes for any D, D7, G, G7. You can substitute the G major for G7, but not necessarily the other way around until you know that the places where it's okay to do that. So we're going to start off with progression A on page 13. We're going to have 4 beats on D, 8 beats on A, 4 beats on D. And we'll repeat it twice through. For each of these progressions, I'm going to do it twice through slow and then 4 times through more quickly. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back and practice that more if you need to. Here it is a little bit more quickly, 4 times through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now switching over to progression B. This is the one that's just switching back and forth between D and A. So we'll start that slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression B a little bit more quickly now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Progression C, same exact thing except it's D to G instead of D to A. Let's try that slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. D. A couple more times. Remember, with all these, I'd always rather hear you play something in time, not quite get the chord right on the very first beat it's supposed to be on, or have to drop the last beat. But keep the time going, keep your right hand going in time, because you will get faster with that left hand. So speaking of going faster, here's D to G, a little bit faster. This is progression C on page 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now it's time to put them all together. Practice D, G, D, A. That's progression D on page 14. Nice and slow. We'll do it a couple times through, probably 3 or 4 times through, since it's putting more chords together. So nice and slow. Let's actually do it once, not in time. Just strum each chord and kind of take your time to get to the next one. So here's D. Now we're going to switch to G. Now D again. Now we're going to A. And let's go in time, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. G. D. Now A. Good. A little faster. 4 times through at a quicker tempo now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you may have noticed, if you were listening and not necessarily playing, there were a couple times I didn't quite get the chord exactly right. There were 1 or 2 little sour notes. If you listen closely, don't let that stop you from keeping your rhythm going. That's the most important thing. The way we're playing guitar right now, you're a rhythm instrument first, and then a chord instrument second. All right, lastly, we're going to do progression E on page 14. And this has that G to A switch that we practiced earlier. So, just strum through each of the chords out of time once here. Here's D. Here's G. Now A. And D. Make sure when we put this in time that we're repeating that D 4 beats twice at the end and then again at the beginning. So here's the D, G, A, D. Let's try it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, time. Repeat D, and I'm not going to call out the rest of the chords. 2, 3, 4. And at a quicker tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So those are all the progressions we're going to do in the key of D from page 13 and 14. Practice those and you'll be ready for class.